This podcast of storytellers would like to acknowledge the first storytellers whose land we are recording on today, the first peoples of the Kulin Nation. We would like to pay our respects to their elders, past, present, and emerging. We acknowledge them and their Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples whose culture lives on today in Naarm, the city, Melbourne. Theirs is the oldest in the world, and their sovereignty was never ceded.
Hello and welcome to the Book of War and Avatar Legends Real Play. My name is Jesse Thomas and I play Minh Fang, the Foundling. He, him, a runaway from the Earth Kingdom who... Oh no. A runaway... Hold on, wait. It's that joining word that gets me every time. A runaway from the Earth Kingdom who found a new home in the Northern Water Tribe while hiding from deadly family secrets. And my min fact for today is I just want to give you a time. Everyone's laughing at me, it's fair. I want to give everyone a timeline, like just a concise timeline of exactly where Minh Fang has been in his life. So I think he was in the Earth Kingdom until he was about 12. And then he spent 5 years in the Water Tribe. He turned 17. And then he spent about 6 months on his own. And so, yeah, he's about 6 months at this point, roughly. He's been on his own, out in the world.
Young man making it in the world by himself.
Yeah, although I do feel like in the Avatar verse and this sort of everything that's going on, I feel like that's pretty standard. You know, I feel like that would be pretty normal for these kind of for this kind of society. I think maybe Earth Kingdom he'd probably still be required to be around family and home. And
Minh Fang, the family's got a bit of money, don't they?
It's less money, it's more standing. Like they as a family, the Fang family is like a notable family.
I just like the idea that, you know, he went away and he took what he thought was like going to be so much money, and then after a period of time, it's like, and it's gone. I knew I should have bought those so many sets of shoes.
Yeah, I think, yeah, they are comfortable. I don't think they are like
the shoes.
The family. I think the family are like, yeah, they're comfortable, but they're not rich by any standard. They've just had like a comfortable life.
That makes sense.
But they keep to themselves. They're a quiet family. They're well known to a point. I don't think like everyone in the Earth Kingdom has heard of them, but I think like all the other families probably have heard of the family.
Yeah.
Like, them
if this
in that
was
small house out by the...
If they were required to go to court, they would be like, oh, yes.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, because I think we spoke about this at one point, but the Earth Kingdom structure is very family-based, and that's why Minh Fang's the only one with the last name.
You get a role in Bridgerton.
Yes, yeah. He'd be a side character somewhere.
Hello, my name is Lucas. Tomo the Razor, he, him. Lost boy turned smooth criminal. He prefers his dumplings steamed, not fried, and likes doing things quickly and quietly. Ash and I went to a convention. We ran some games. That was so much fun. And you know what? There are people using my dice rolling techniques to great effect.
It's true. It's absolutely true.
No.
Can confirm.
Can confirm.
Dare you spread this to the wider community?
Look, that particular person is a listener and they know who they are. And they know that I am disgusted at them.
I am upset with you and so is your family. No, I take that back. That's not fair. I am upset with you though.
Anyway, thank you. Thank you. You know who you are.
You know what you've done.
Hello, my name is Georgie Hazel, and I play Nuro, the Destined, they, she, he. Nuro is a child from the strange and mystical Foggy Swamp. Due to the threat of war, Nuro had to leave their home, but there might be more to this little swamp critter than meets the eye. And I suppose I actually got to open up about that a little bit in the last episode. And Nuro's family, mother is the current guardian of the swamp, and they are related to Hugh, from Hugh's cousin, basically.
I mean, are they all cousins?
Cousin Hugh, yeah, I guess in some.
Oh,
so I get it now. But yeah, that was cool. I'm glad a little bit of tidbits for Nuro.
Who's that talking now? It's Ted Darling.
There
I play
he is.
Banji the Guardian, he, him. a defector from the Fire Nation army who has instead chosen to use his strength to protect the vulnerable. Last episode, Banji revealed, kind of, I'm not sure if it landed properly, but that he himself has had a vision from the foggy swamp. Nobody knows what that is, but it clearly affected him.
Does Nuro know?
Nuro knows, yeah.
Nuro does know.
Okay.
But nobody else does. So watch this space.
Hands off my vision.
The important question here is at the end, or at the start of the last episode, you failed your roll.
Yes.
So does that mean you have to choose now? Like, what's the process?
It just says by the end of the session. So that's where I get confused. Like, what are we classing as
Well,
session?
I think at this point, what that means is there will be a time within this session
Yep.
that you go, that's the answer. And
Yep.
you let us know the moment you know.
Yeah, look.
But you have to, if you don't come up and say it by the end, you will have to make a decision at the end of it.
Yeah, I'm willing to force you to make a choice. It's Sophie's choice. Bunji's choice.
Bunji's choice.
Hi, I'm Ash. I'm the GM, the Grandmaster Goose Monkey. Goom Goom. Was that what you said last time?
What happened to GM Squared? I thought.
Oh, GM Squared was very good, but I just wanted to throw back. I missed the joke last time until I reheard it. It's Goom Goom. Go on, Georgie, do it.
Gum gum.
Amazing. I feel like we're in an episode of Law and Order. What's the...
I do know the whole intro to SVU.
Well, we will be sued if we do it, so...
Just have to do a different version of it. Yeah.
Avatarize it,
I shall.
and then
Done.
then it counts as satire.
Yeah.
It's allowed. Next
Put it up
episode.
somewhere with someone will do it. Something.
Next episode, we'll have it all set. I was going to talk about this convention that we went to at Conquest, and I actually met the Arkenforge team, and it was unbelievable just watching it all set up. Like, I've seen it on the computer and how, moving things around is like pretty brilliant, getting that soundscape going. They actually had it set up like as a flat screen, like so you could use it as a surface. And I'm like, I have been wanting to set up a table like that for forever. And they're like, you can actually go to the website and they've got like the instructions to make one.
Oh,
So that's going to be my project over the next 6 months. As a man who knows nothing about woodworking or using tools, I am going to install a flat screen panel into a table so that I can make amazing games.
It was so inspiring. I really wish we could do like, dare I say it, a live show.
We're not doing a live show.
Imagine that.
I
And like,
think if
there's
we-
tokens of our
all right,
characters.
Lucas, I make this promise to you now. If we ever get to a point where we can have a Patreon, we will do a live show. How
Yeah.
about that? Is
Okay,
that, yeah?
that sounds real good. Yeah.
But then the problem is that people will learn that we are nowhere near as funny as we are, and we only cut out like we cut out all the
No,
bad
I
bits, and
think
it's
we'll
nothing
be
but good
funnier
jokes.
in person, to be honest.
That's true. People will laugh at us, not with us though.
Yeah.
Let's roll the music. The journey doesn't take as long as you think it does, especially with the 3 paddling, and there's a bit of a cycle going through. Nuro, you get the feeling that your vision is driving you where you want to go in the best, safest, and fastest possible way. You see as you progress, you're a volcano. You don't know it's the same one specifically. You think that it might be, but there's actually 2 volcanoes on either side and a watery passage that you can pass through. And as you pass through, you realize, Banji especially, you are in Fire Nation territory. As it stands, there is currently no... there's nothing stopping you. There's no vessels around. But as you approach this island, which doesn't actually show up on Yanni's map, it's small. It's tiny. It's not quite wedged between these 2 volcanoes, but it's really not far from it. And on one side, you see there is... sort of a flattened area where an iron vessel has been beached, of a Fire Nation naval ship. Yanni says, I think we're a smaller vessel, we could probably go around the backside, but it might be a little bit of a hike up because it's on an elevated rate. Elevated ascend. No, hold on. I come up with the withers. It's just elevated. There you go.
Sorry, Yanni. Are we here? Because I actually don't know where we're. Like, I know we're going somewhere, but where are we actually going?
This is a question for Nuro.
Well, I don't know.
What are you
No, I'm sorry, I'm kidding. This is where my vision's leading me. I'm following it right now, man. There were volcanoes there. I think we might be in the right place now.
No, but there's nothing here. It's just volcanoes and that beach ship, a Fire Nation ship.
Are you sure this is where we're meant to go? This is deep into Fire Nation territory.
Yeah, are we safe, Banji?
No.
Usually you say we're fine.
Are we ever safe whenever you ask Banji that question? I don't think. I think every single time he says, as long as it's safe.
I look up in the sky, and can I get another?
You like a ping on a video game. You are so close.
So close.
It says like 100 M. Just up that
In
way.
my internal map, I can
your
see
inter-
the
yeah.
ping. Yes.
I think Min's like no longer. Like, I think it's not his turn to be pedaling. I think he's just like pacing
Yeah.
up and down the ship now, like on the deck, just like looking.
Yeah.
And just.
I look out on the deck and I is it trying to lead me around to go
Yeah.
somewhere else?
The way that I sort of see it
Yeah.
happening in it is as you approach, the first thing everyone thinks is we're not going anywhere near that vessel. And as you go around the back, you're like, oh, we can climb up there, and whatever it is you can see, it's up that cliffside. Once you get up there, everything should make sense.
So just to spell out exactly what we're seeing, we're going through a small like river thing in between two volcanoes. And
So-
then there's an island on the other side.
So if anyone's ever flown into Hawaii, like the distance between the islands, like you can see that they are far apart, but you can still see where those volcanoes are. So it's not like it's you're passing through a narrow river, but it feels like there's a towering volcano on that side, and there's a pretty large one on that side, and then there's this island which is significantly smaller
Right, okay.
in front of you, which is elevated on one side. It's 100 meters up, whereas there is a beach line right on the water level, and that's where the Fire Nation military are.
Great.
And
camped
it's
out.
on this one that I see.
Yeah, it's at the top. Basically, it's at the top of the island.
All right. I kind of just scramble out on the deck and tap the side, and I'm like, right there's where we gotta go.
What this island with the ship on it?
Yes, man, that's where we gotta go.
Yes, but the other side.
The other side.
I mean, unless you've got a way that we can get past whatever military force that is.
Yeah. Whatever you do. You.
Tomo disguises. Do you think that'll work?
Do you have any Fire Nation stuff?
Listen, we're not going anywhere near that Fire Nation ship. If we need to go on this island, we're going around the back way.
But this is Fire Nation territory, right? We shouldn't be here. We should look like Fire Nation people.
We are in
Surely.
a glowing boat.
Well,
but-
it stopped glowing a day ago, Yanni.
Actually, no. It's only been about 3-ish days, and you've got about a week worth of glowingness.
Oh, okay, cool.
Well, we've got a Fire Nation soldier with us. Why don't we just be
With that
prisoners?
haircut, I don't think so.
I'm more wondering, Minh Fang, why would your mother be here?
I don't know. I don't know. She's not meant to be fighting anymore. She should be home.
I told you, we don't even know if that was past, present, or future. That's what we're here to find out, man.
And just to
Yeah.
clarify, which side was she fighting for?
Not the Fire Nation. Don't worry.
Okay, just checking. No judgment. Just
Thank you, Tomo.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what you expect me to say. I
Look,
Oh.
if we encounter any Fire Nation, I'll deal with them. All right, we'll go around the back and we'll find out what we're doing here. If Minh Fang's mother is here, then we'll get her off the island, and if not, then we'll decide what we do next.
Can you use your rope as like a grappling hook or something? Can we do that?
Yeah, sure. Did you have a grappling hook? Otherwise, it's just it's just a rope. He sort of looks like, it's just a rope. Eyes dart side to side.
Tomo, can I borrow your tonfas?
No.
Okay, then no, I don't have a grappling hook.
What about that fancy-looking metal ornament? That looks heavy.
That's still a teapot.
No, I didn't say you can't. Let me do it. We can use my tone first, but yeah, I'll give.
You want the end of my rope?
Minh Fang,
Here you go.
take the rope.
Just don't...
It's a bit strangely heavy, but anyway.
Yeah, don't undo the knot. It's really hard to...
Yeah, of course. And Tomo wraps it around one of his tonfas, and he, looks up. Do I need to roll for this, or we can just?
Yes.
Yes. I wasn't going to make you. However, sorry.
This even be?
I'll rephrase. I wasn't going to make Minh Fang do it, but I like. Tomo's like, I can do this. It's his first time.
Have we actually moved our boat into a position?
Yeah. It's underneath the cliffside. You definitely, the very first thing Yanni did the second she saw that ship was like, and around the other side, out of sight. She is naturally a smuggler, so a trader, but she's smuggled before.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it's push your luck because you haven't done this before. It's not skills and training.
Oh, come on. Okay, all right, fine.
Oh no.
That was
double hands.
That was a weird, unique, round.
What is it? What is it,
That's
Georgie?
a 6, babe.
That's a 6 and a 6, isn't it?
Wait, what?
Oh my god, that's double
Every
sixes.
single person you converted at that convention.
The more people, it's deity rules. The more people he converts, the stronger the rolls get. Next time he rolls, it's going to be 7 somehow.
My dice flips as well.
Basically, it's Tomo launches up and the. In a rocky outcropping, the tonfa handle. I sort of picture it as like the handles are the long end and it just sort of latches onto the perfect. And you just tug it and you're like, oh, this is going to be so easy. This is going to be easier than Batman walking sideways on a like in the ye old 60s show.
So I still can't get over that. That is, anyway.
It was almost
a powerful roll.
It was like a skipping rope, wind up that he did with his hands.
Don't remind me. I had to watch it with my eyes. I can't unsee any of this.
A blessing and a curse that this is an audio-only medium. No live shows. Oh, God, no live shows. Yes, you make your way up, and I feel that just with that roll, you've got the swing of it. Pun intended. Play on words intended. Pun's the wrong one to use. Play on words intended. And you make your way up without just too much fuss. Yanni joins along. She thinks this is a place
We're
to be.
all climbing up the rope.
All climbing up the rope, yep. And it's like you find the sort of 3 levels that would get you up to the top.
Nuro definitely tried to climb up themselves for a while before it very clearly became not a possibility. So I kind of just shimmy back down onto Banji's back.
Yeah, Banji takes them. It's fine.
Great.
He's a buff boy.
I think when we get to the top, it's a bit of a climb. You said it was 100 meters, so that's a big climb. I think I roll to the side and I'm like, oh, by the spirits. I just start undoing the Tomfest. I'm like, here you go. So take it back. Thank you. Good job.
As you reach the top, you see that there is a few stone pagodas set around and 2 golden statues, for lack of a better term. And this is sort of on the flattest section that you can see. And as some of you are sort of sitting down and lying down, everyone notices very, very quickly rocks snap over hands, feet, legs, and pinning you to the space that you're standing. And rising up on a pillar, arms folded and looking very, very stern, is the woman from Nuro's vision.
There she is.
What are you all doing here? What good excuse do you have to be on this island and here of all places? Speak now or else.
Well, ma'am, it's quite a story, but that's your son.
She glares at Minh Fang.
Hello, mother.
The The earth beneath you moves and actually slides towards her. And she looks and she goes, Minh Fang, what are you doing here, young man? What have I always told you? Did you not see that giant metal boat down by the beach?
Yes, I did. Yes. Hello, Mother. Good to see you. No, it's been some time.
And who are these people?
These are my friends.
It's a pleasure to meet you all. And she continues to glare.
Sorry. This Banji. This is Nuro.
Well, hi there.
This is Tomo.
Golson, Lady Fang, pleasure to meet you.
Yanni. Sorry, she's a vagrant. Don't worry about her.
Hey.
Are you sober?
Sorry, I wasn't sure if you were saying that to your mother.
To Yanni.
Yanni's like, yes, I couldn't find any of my alcohol.
I poured it all out. I'm talking to my mother right now. Can we not do this?
Your mother's still sort of glaring at you. It's like,
Bunji's wearing a Fire Nation army uniform.
you're not wearing your scholar robes. You're wearing your. Remember, the scholar robes go over the
true.
armor,
Okay,
but it's up to you.
Yeah, I guess he probably would. No, actually, because we're in Fire Nation army, and he said if any Fire Nation people come, then let me handle it. So he would take the disguise off.
We never finished just talking about what we're wearing or disguises.
I think we don't.
I thought you just started climbing and said, yeah, that'll do it.
Unless Tomo's in something.
No, Tomo's just going to be wearing what he wore on the raid. Like this is, tactical Tomo.
Tactical Tomo.
Look,
That's fan art waiting to happen.
I don't know where to start.
Can you describe your mother for me?
Yeah, I think she cuts an imposing figure. She's a tall, athletic woman, and I think she has really long black hair that's dead straight, with bangs cut across the top.
It's a fringe for people that don't actually know what bangs are.
Sorry, fringe, like a harsh cut fringe along the top, and then she has like shorter lengths on either side of her hair. She wears an armless robe that goes down sort of halfway, and then she's wearing pants underneath as well.
Mm-hmm.
Was a fighter. She is a fighter, so she needs to be quite nimble and.
She's definitely like, if there's such a thing as your mother's battle gear, she's wearing.
Yes, this is her battle gear, very clearly and very proudly Earth Kingdom. Her rock arm usually would be a bunch of really smooth black obsidian pebbles, carved in such a way that sort of make up different muscle groups along her arm, and you could see it, and it's beautiful, and it was a gift. She's just so talented. She can harness them in such a way to make an arm. But I think now it's probably a mixture of different kinds of really stern rocks. And maybe it's a little bit bigger than it should be. But I think the thing that stands out the most is her eyes. She has a very harsh, stare. And even though Minh Fang has known her in nicer times and a bit less stern, I think she just is a stern person by nature.
She doesn't
because of the state of the world.
Yeah, I'd say she doesn't have the crow's feet that indicates someone smiles. She is not a smiling person as a general rule of thumb.
Yeah, she is and the demeanor is Earth Nation, stern, hard, strong, knows what they want. Which makes no sense why she's with the father.
I think she says, "And are you going to have me introduce myself?"
You always do anyway.
Okay, in that case, what is your mother's name?
My mother's name is Meng Shou Fang.
She looks at all of you and says, "My name is Meng Shou Fang, former general, but currently, let's say freelance." And then her left arm rockets away and grabs Banji. It almost wraps around sort of a net around Banji's chest, just pinning the arms a little bit tighter, and you slide forward.
Mother, he's fine. He's okay.
Again, she glares at you, waiting for you to finish that sentence, because if you don't, she's going to wonder what rocks are in your head smacking around.
He's defected.
If you touch even one hair on Banji's head, I promise you'll be sorry.
I am sorry quite often. However, right now, I would like to know what you are all doing here, because no one's given me a good reason to let you
We
remain.
came to find you.
You came to find me?
Yes. I don't know where to start, but
You were fighting. It looked like you were in danger. We just came to find you.
Nuro has a way with spirits, and they told him that you were in trouble.
You've been listening to your father again, haven't you?
No, I've been listening to Nuro, and Nuro hasn't been wrong since.
I haven't.
That's how we got here, okay?
Nuro, you begin to slide forward as she peers in and takes a closer look at you. And as she does, you see that again, you get this sense that she is a no-nonsense woman that you probably haven't seen before. Like, as much as your mother was always like, I'm protecting the swamp and there was still joy in her.
Yeah.
This woman, you can almost see it. It's almost everything's a mission to her.
I can kind of see she doesn't want to really listen to what we have to say.
I think that it's more to say you haven't said the right things yet. But that list, you get the impression that unless it's just the right thing, she doesn't care.
Yeah, that's right. I saw you, ma'am, and this might be hard for you to understand, but I'm from Foggy Swamp.
What is that meant to mean?
You know
I know it exists on the map, but what is it meant to mean?
Have you met anyone from there?
No.
Oh, well, this is what they're like, and they know things that other people don't.
Are you certain you haven't been speaking to your father?
I haven't seen father in 6 months.
What do you need me to do? Prove it to you?
Prove to me what? That you've seen me in some egregious vision?
Yes.
I think Yanni says, I can, yep, that's definitely a thing. That's the thing. Yes, and you are? Oh, I'm well, technically I'm employing them. So you've sent them all here, have you? No. This is, okay, so when Nuro has a vision, we follow along, and it's very... And the slide happens to Yanni, and you see Yanni visibly sweating. Like, I think
I just give her a look, which is like, stop talking.
And Yanni's like, sorry.
Can Tomo do my people person thing on?
Yeah.
Ooh,
yes, you certainly can. Roll for it.
He's just doing it to upset me now.
That is a 6 and a 3. Plus focus, 10.
A 10? Yeah. On your 10, you get to ask 2 questions?
I believe so, yes.
All right. What are your questions?
10. What is she most afraid of?
So,
yeah.
I'll answer the first one and then you can go from there. You can see that her attention is divided. Step 1, she is afraid as to why her son is here. That is troubling for her. The second thing, you notice every now and again she glances behind her. She's waiting for something. And you could probably gauge, with your 10, she's waiting for another Fire Nation attack.
Okay, and how can I get you to mark the condition... Love me like your own son?
I'm flipping through the book here. I'm just... yeah, apparently it's got...
God, she's an impressive woman. I was good, like, wow. What is, like... How long you've had the description? That is amazing. Anyway, sorry, getting sidetracked. No, more seriously, how can she be vulnerable to me?
So you get the impression that if you can prove that you can help her somehow... if you can show that you are, in fact, capable of setting her mind at ease, and by setting her mind at ease, meaning that, the sun isn't in danger and whatever she's trying to protect isn't in danger, she will listen to you.
Tomo quickly kind of gets down on a knee and he says, Lady Fang, we are here to help. I know we may not be much, but... your son had a feeling that you may be in danger, and we weren't sure, but seeing where we are now, I think we can help.
It's at about this time that a war horn, that's not quite the right term to use, but there's definitely some sort of signal that comes from sort of the front of this area, this plateaued area. And she turns around, she says, well, I don't have any time to babysit you, so you can either be helpful or go away. And all of your rock restraints release. Banji, your chest is breathing a little bit better as her arm returns to her. It wasn't quite suffocating you, but it definitely felt like there was pressure.
Yeah.
Right? And you see her, like the pillar that she was standing on, pretty much reshifts itself, and she just launches off at a speed that you're like, not that she's an older woman, but she moves unbelievably well. As you get a sort of glance, you get the impression there are a few people trying to make their way up the incline from the beach.
What are we doing, guys?
What are we waiting for? Let's go.
If I know that horn, it means that there's an attack coming now.
And your mom, Minh Fang, your mother's going right for it. We're here for help for her, right?
Yeah. Let's go.
Also, how's your dad doing? What's their...
Not now.
So she's kind of just gone out into the water, right, on this pillar.
No. Okay, so to set the scene a little bit, you've climbed up. Picture the one side of the island is right at water level. The other side, it basically just slants up. We'll say not quite 45 degrees, 35 degrees or something like that, all the way to the top. This is on the other side of the island. This is that section. It's plateaued out. And as you begin to move forward, you realize you're standing on the roof of what looks like some sort of entrance to a cave or something along those lines. But it's not a cave. It's been carved out properly, but it's within the natural rock face. So she's rushed over to the front of where this plateau sort of ends and the decline begins. Just like that, Jesse's drawn a picture. We might put it up on Facebook or something like that, so people can get an idea on what it looks like. And so so she's rushed to the front of that, and so she's ready to face the people that are trying to like make ingress onto the island, onto the top part of the island. As you get a little bit closer, you also notice that she's set up some relatively impressive defensive barriers. One thing that comes to mind when you see it, we've seen rock walls before set up as defenses. You would have seen them on Natsuo Island. This one actually has a little bit more of a curve to it. It's the most frequent place or the most recent place you've seen something like this, and still not quite right, is back in Omashu with that earthbender that was using the bending mat. It just doesn't quite look as rocky and jagged.
Minh Fang's quite silent, quite determined. I think he just takes out his rope and he takes a position up on just behind the wall near the whatever entrance there is to go past through it or in between it. He can't really do much up on the wall necessarily, so he's going to get in the fray, I think, and try and prove himself to his mother.
As Banji kind of runs up, he's going to turn to Yanni and he's going to say, if this goes sideways, you get Nuro back to the boat and we'll hold them off as long as we can. But, because I want Nuro to fight, but I don't want it to like... It's just like if it goes sideways, get them off the island.
Yeah.
I think she sort of nods and goes, I'm not a fighter, so that works for me.
I'll protect you, Annie.
She just sort of smiles and like gives Nuro a smile and gives Banji are you certain? Like, no. And then she goes back. She's like, yes, of course, of course they can.
And then Banji kind of takes up a position towards the front, like near the wall, almost like trying to get in. What was your mother's name again, sir?
Meng Shou.
Meng Shou's eye line, and like with his back, like facing her, so that she knows that he's taking a position to defend whatever's going to happen.
You hear a
Nice.
Tomo's going to take So hang on. So we've got Meng Shou, we've got Banji on the left side or the right side, like
Usually right.
the right side.
yeah.
All right. Well, look, Tomo and Minh Fang's quite a bit further away from.
Yeah, he's on the ground, right on the pretty much right where they're going to probably hit first. We'll try and get through first.
All right. I think Tomo might just maybe go if you're on the right side, then Tomo go on the left side of and yeah, and Tonfa's out. And Tomo's going to say to Lady
Meng Shou.
I'm just going to write that down. Meng Shou. Lady Fang, I'm not asking you to babysit us, but I'm asking you to lead us, General. What are we up against?
You look downwards as she gestures, and you see that there is a platoon of about 10 firebending troops trying to make their way up. And she sort of snorts and goes, "This is just a prod. They just want to test us." And she stamps her foot, and you see that some of the ground just immediately turns into pebbles, and they begin to stagger, and like their progress is completely hindered. They just can't quite make it a little bit further up. They start taking pot shots at the wall. No one's really in danger because you've all taken up your fortified positions. And they take a few chunks out of the wall, and almost as quickly as they're taking chunks out, her foot will stamp, her fist will go up, and it will just completely reinforce itself. And it is clear that she does not need your help. I mean, you can still do something if you want, but like the speed and the ease with which she's doing this is phenomenal to watch.
I just really love the image of her just totaling all of these Fire Nation and then just like a shot from Nero's slingshot of just like a pebble, like just knocking out the last one.
I think that's great. I don't even think it's the last one. I think it's just the first one. Like, you know, they're all sort of like standing and like launching their fireballs. And just the pebble just goes ping, and this firebending soldier just lands on their back and just rolls down. Like the pebbles just carry them all the way. And then there were 9.
Okay. Tomo's going to put away his tonfas and to step behind, like not right next behind, but basically he's going to be watching her back, basically just to see. Obviously, she's got the front covered, so Tomo's now looking for anything that she might not be.
Yeah, the way that this island is shaped, you can tell that once this area is defended, there's no way to get behind it. The fact that you came up the other way was some degree surprising, but she was also ready for that too. Like the second you set foot on the ground, that she knew you were there and was ready to go.
Okay, but Tomo being Tomo, there's always possibly another angle.
That's very, very true. Anybody else doing anything particular?
I mean, Nuro is like dead set on protecting Yanni, so I'm just there in front of her.
Yanni's like, my hero.
I think Banji's just watching in awe. He's just like, holy crap, this lady's taking out like a platoon of Fire Nation soldiers.
Min, I think, he's very quickly realized that he's no help here. And now he's like trying to figure out why we're here at all. So he's looking around at the defenses and looking at the shape of the wall, trying to figure out, and I'm going to do... I think I want to try and assess the situation. I want to try and figure out what it is, why she's actually here. So I'm going to go and roll first. 3, 4, 7 plus creativity, which is 1. Yeah, so
8, mixed success. You get to ask your question.
Ask 1. Who or what is in the greatest danger here?
You have a look at the way the wall has been set away from the actual structures of this space. And you know that there are a few people milling about. And they look like they're wearing some degree of robe or something along those lines. But you think, these are just civilians. That can't be what she's here for. And you take a look back and you realize that the entire structure of this plateau, where these walls are placed, it's not just defending all of it. It is as far away as it can possibly be from that sort of cave entrance, that carved structure where you first landed. There's something down there. And whatever it is, she doesn't want anyone to get there. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Thank you very much.
I think she looks at you while you're not like paying attention to the fight. You're paying attention. You turn around and you're having a bit of a look through, and she says, "Minh Fang, what do you think you're going to do with that rope? Why don't you actually contribute to this fight?"
You.
Wow, you're rather
He's
nasty.
very mad immediately. It's like, you told me never to. You told me not to.
I told you not to do something, but I didn't tell you not to do anything.
Ooh.
He's furious. He's like, fine, I'll do something. And he runs into that. He goes to run into that cave.
Okay, I want you to push your luck here. Because Indiana Jones style, but in reverse, a rock pillar begins to rise, and we'll see if you can vault over it or not.
We'll see. We'll see. 5 to 8, mixed success.
Mixed success?
He loses his hat.
I think I know what this. I don't mean to speak on your behalf.
No.
I think I know what this costs.
You lose your other pair of shoes.
No, I think I run forward and she thrusts this pillar up, and in a moment of anger, Minh Fang jumps in the air, both of his feet up in the air, sort of in like a crouched position, and he throws out his hands to either side in sort of blades and stamps down and rips the wall down with an earthbending move in front of everyone.
Okay.
And just runs through.
Yeah, okay. I'm very glad because I wasn't going to out you, so I'm glad you've outed yourself here.
I think just straight up yeah.
Oh my bonk.
She sighs and she says, fine, fun's over. And you see her stamp her foot and just a wave just rolls all the way down the hill and it just skittles every single Fire Nation soldier, or the 9 that were left.
A wave of rock.
A wave of rock, yeah. It's just this earth wave just goes on through. And right up until about it gets to the sand and they just slide. And you actually, you can almost see the other side where they're all camped out and they basically just slide into the infirmary tents. That seems to be, there's actually more tents set up for injured people than there are barracks. Yeah, well, I was going to say barracks, but as she turns around and begins to slowly walk towards this entrance, everyone else notices that in the distance there are 2 more ships coming. Let's flash over to Minh Fang. Yanni, of course, is also run along. She's like, I can't wait to see what this is.
Yanni, what? Why'd you follow me?
Because I want to see what's down here. This seems...
What's down
By
here,
the
man?
spirits. Oh, shit. Go. Quickly, come on.
Right.
He stops us.
In that case, it's just Banji and Tomo that were standing next to her. And they're once again, that little dotted outline. And they look over where Nuro was. Just gone.
I'm protecting Yanni.
Oh, well, you did actually say that, yeah.
No, it's good. It's great.
Man, your mom seems kind of stressed out.
No, this is pretty much how she's been the last 10 years.
As you make your way into this sort of man-made section, you notice tomes upon tomes upon tomes of very, very old books and old scrolls. But that's not what's sort of driving you. You're just following your natural intuition. You're just the anger that you've expressed has just sort of driven you down a path, and you come to a stairway. And as you move along that stairway, it feels right to head on down. And as you do, the area around you seems to change in hue. It's no longer just outside. It's no longer just a sort of rocky outcropping area. It begins to glow almost a bluish colour. And as you go down, you see this massive underwater wellspring. The water itself is what's giving off that hue. It's glowing where you wouldn't necessarily expect it to. But that's not what takes your attention. Resting on an island in the middle of this wellspring is a dragon.
Oh my fuck. Is that
We have to leave.
As you begin to take a couple of steps back up, you see a shadow on the wall, which could only be your mother.
Okay, so something makes sense while you're here. And I have nothing. I slowly turn around and look at my mother.
She's looking at Nuro and says, well, you with the visions, you were the one that came here to find me. Was it me or was it this creature?
It was you.
Come down. And she begins to walk. And I feel that Banji and Tomo are in tow here.
We would follow behind the very bossy lady.
As she walks down, you get closer and you see what you thought was a sleeping dragon. It's actually really struggling. It's struggling for breath. It's struggling for just to maintain itself. And she comes down and she takes a almost like a ladle, half bucket, half ladle, and scoops up the water and sprinkles it. You see that this injury, this dragon is bleeding. It's been stemmed, but it's not doing so well. And she says, I found this creature. It was being hunted for sport. As we know, there are very, very few left in the world, thanks to the Fire Nation. So we brought it here. These waters are, well, they're healing. This is spirit water. I feel it might be similar to something you have in your foggy swamp.
It might just be.
Well, if anything's going to keep this dragon alive, it's this water. But, of course, we've got hot-headed idiots that feel, well, there must be something here worth attacking, so they're attacking it, and they keep coming. And I can't let that happen. So, here I stand. Is that enough of a satisfactory answer for you, Minh Fang? As to why I'm here and not at home? Why I'm retired and yet still fighting?
You just see him get angry again because he came here because he thought she was in trouble and thought that she needed help. And he hadn't seen her for 2 years and she's just being a word I can't say on a podcast that children listen to.
A poopy head.
She's just being unnecessarily terse and rough. At least that's how he feels, because I don't know. I think he expected the first time he sees her again to be like, oh, like why are you here? Oh my God, are you okay? But she's just not.
It's not very motherly.
No. And she has been in her own way in the past, but this is just, she's in action mode and she's just not there for Min in a way that he was hoping for. And he says, yes, you've made it clear that it was a mistake coming here in the first place.
You should be at the Northern Water Tribe. What are you even doing in the middle of the ocean?
What do you care?
Anywhere near the Fire Nation.
And he goes to push past her and leave.
I think she lets him.
And he just goes,
Man, wait.
no, I don't want to hear it. And he goes, I think he's going to try and make his way to one of the, pagoda things.
Mm-hmm.
You said there was, gold statues?
There are 2 gold statues, sort of closer towards the front. And by front, I mean where you were defending.
I think based on this last interaction, I think I'm going to get rid of guilty and instead take angry.
I am...
Because I don't, not to say that he clearing condition for guilty, make a personal sacrifice to absolve my guilt. Not that I think I've necessarily done that, but I guess maybe just openly earthbending.
No, I think that you can clear guilty here.
Yeah.
I think that you've decided that, well, not doing the opposite of what your mother wants, but, doing your own thing against what your mother is currently doing is a personal sacrifice. You're not cowing to her.
Yeah. And I think I just go and I'm look around and look at these people that are here. And what are the statues of, the gold statues?
It's a seated golden statue flanked by 2 guardian figures. The statue itself seems to be a seated monk.
The illustration that Ash is showing, it's got really strong Thai vibes. It's give me flashbacks. Yeah.
I think he just goes into this space, this big pagoda thing with this statue, and I think he's just looking at it, and he's just trying to find an answer. Like he doesn't understand anything really that's happened. Like, why are we here? And he's looking for an answer. He knows, he gets the dragon. He understands that, but his mother does not need our help. And he thought he was doing the right thing, and now it's just he's being embarrassed, essentially, for even trying to care about his family.
Tomo's really torn, because you've left the scene, but then, hot mom, can I make a roll?
Thank you for ruining the tension. I mean, saving the... No, it's perfect. I loved it.
Would you mind if I roll to see if Tomo stays with the mom because I honestly cannot make this decision for him.
Yeah. I mean, whatever works for you.
It's just so highs, he's going to go with you, and low, he's going to stay and ask some questions. High, okay. Tomo is going to just sort of bow and say, excuse me, Lady Fang, and he goes to join you, Minh Fang. And look, since he's there, Tomo's not really good at this. He's got -1 to harmony, but he's going to attempt to guide and comfort you to clear your condition.
Again, team, hey, this is something I have learned from hanging out at Conquest and working with brand new players. Don't tell me you're going to do a roll. Do the thing, and I'll tell you whether there's a roll there or not.
Oh. So I'm just going to go up to Minh Fang, and I'm going to say, I can see why you have a difficult relationship with her. I haven't met many mothers before, and I've certainly not met one like that. What's on your mind? What are you thinking?
I'm just an idiot, Tomo. I just thought... I don't know. I don't know what I thought, but this isn't what I was thinking. And I'm stupid for thinking anything else.
No, you're not. We're here because of Nuro's vision. Their vision hasn't led us astray so far. We're here for a reason. You're here for a reason. And look, hey, I've never seen a dragon before. Have you?
No, I mean pictures.
I mean, that's something, hey.
I guess.
Why did she send you up north?
I'm sorry, Tomo, I can't tell you that.
Okay.
She's already angry enough at me.
No, look, if she asks, I will tell her that you have kept your secret the whole time. And honestly, frankly, I'm surprised. I thought I had you read, but once again, you've surprised me.
I just don't know if I can trust Tomo yet. I think he's going to have to do the guide and comfort, and then...
Yeah, no, I was about to say, I think that this is the point that you roll for that guide and comfort.
Okay.
Because depending on how that goes is depending on what...
Yeah, I agree.
And to show you that I really care, I'm going to do it your way, which is weird. Like I have 2 hands. Why am I only using one of them? I mean, it's...
Don't ruin it.
Jesse half wants him to succeed, half wants him to fail.
Yeah, I am a bit torn, actually.
It is my lowest roll to date. That is... that's a 5, and it's a 4.
Okay.
Oh, because -1.
-1 on harmony.
What happens on...
How do you deal with the situation?
He literally said, I don't know many mothers. That's such a weird thing to say. And I think he just doesn't believe you understand it. And I think he tries to listen to you, but he's just like, no, Tomo, you don't get it. It's more than just our relationship. It's you wouldn't understand.
Let's flash back down to Yanni, Nuro, and Banji. So no, do you have a...
Yeah, I mean, Nuro already being troubled by the fact that they are separated from their family and the swamp, and how badly they want to go back and see them, how happy she knows that her family would be to see Nuro. So at first Nuro is just like really confused by what just happened, by this parent talking to their child this way, and kind of just looks up at what's her name, Meng Shou?
Meng
Shou.
Meng Shou. Meng Shou. How could you say that? Men came so far to find you and make sure that you're okay, and you just send him away like he's nothing? How could you talk to him like that?
You're Foggy Swamp.
What about my foggy swamp?
You're clearly not there.
No, I ain't there.
And why not?
I had to leave.
You had to leave. Well, we are currently standing deep in Fire Nation territory. And my son means more to me than anything else, even this dragon. If I had to choose between the two, I know exactly which one I would help right now.
You think you're helping him?
By
talking
sending
that
him
way?
away? Yes. Yes, I am.
What do you think that's gonna do?
Hopefully drive him far away from me, who always seems to find trouble.
For how long exactly?
She sort of pauses and thinks. With any luck, the war will end at some point, and then we can all be safe. And then I will have time to spend with my son.
So you're gonna wait until all the fighting's over to spend time with your son and tell him that you love him? I guess I'm trying to call this like...
Yeah, no, I think roll plead here. I think this is you're trying to get through, and it is working. I give yourself a +1. You've said the right things to hit. As much as she's stern on the outside,
Roll with harmony.
roll with harmony.
Fantastic. Oh, I've got a -2 to plead right now. Well, 4. Because I have +2 to harmony, but then -2 to plead. +1.
+1.
5.
5. Yanni steps in and says, she puts a hand on your shoulder, says, this kid has gone through so much to be here, just like Minh Fang has. Why don't you care? And you can see that shift again. Banji, if you can help out in any way, shape or form, you will get through.
Banji, to be honest, Banji's just staring at this dragon. Like, Fire Nation are really, into dragons. And this is probably the first dragon that Banji's ever seen. I mean, that a lot of people have ever seen. And she's just told him that Fire Nation have injured this dragon.
So, fun fact about the lore. Dragons, between Roku and Aang, dragons were pretty, well, I say prominent. They were around. You could find them same way you could find sky bison. But during the 100-Year War, a lot of the Fire Nation nobles just got bored because they couldn't travel the world. They couldn't, it was wartime. So they started hunting them for sport. That's why there are so few dragons left. And later on, we hear about Iroh going to kill the last of the dragons. It was considered a rite of passage. For you would be considered a man, or you'd be considered a warrior, or whatever it would be. I don't know exactly how they phrased it, but the general consensus was: you hunt a dragon, you get the name, you get to be called a dragon.
So do you think Banji would want to kill this dragon? Or would he be like...
that's the end of the podcast, everybody. You're all going to have a good night.
I guess you have to ask how
How many fatigues?
how
does the dragon have?
indoctrinated was Banji? When you defected, did you always question Fire Nation stuff, or did you in that moment go, I'm not doing this anymore? Because then I guess the question is like you questioned your orders on that day if you ever questioned anything else. And would you be questioning it now?
Yeah. I mean, I think that Banji isn't really the kind of person who would kill a dragon.
Ted's definitely not, but it's like this is actually a real character moment.
Yeah.
Banji's you've heard all the tales. This would be catching a golden goose.
Yeah.
I could have a golden goose. what is Banji's thought process?
I actually think Banji is going to like take a step towards the dragon and maybe like unconsciously almost like his fist, like fire comes in his fist.
So as you step forward and that little bit of fire comes into your fist, you see the dragon open up one eye. It's this massive red eye, like Sauron's eye style, and you feel it burn into you. And Banji, you feel a feeling you haven't felt for a long, long time. You feel like something needs your help. You begin to realize that Nuro is very capable. And while they needed your help a few months ago and could not have gotten along without you, you've seen them in the last few weeks just progressively become better and better at thriving. But all of a sudden, this creature, this very intelligent creature that's looking at you, it feels like kinship.
Ooh, I like that.
Do it.
Kill the dragon.
Well, yeah, I mean, maybe this is a point where Banji sort of realizes that Nuro is capable and that...
I mean, you don't need... Are they with you now? Oh, they are. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, they're with me now, but they're kind of off doing it. And Banji's sort of in his own world with this dragon at the moment, if the dragon's kind of looking at him. But not only that, like his balance has shifted to trust. He's not traveling with Nuro alone anymore. He has companions. He has friends. This thing seems pretty vulnerable. I mean, do we want to do the drop Nuro as Banji's
that is a TED question and a TED question
Yeah,
alone.
this is all you, buddy.
Yeah.
For those that can't actually see this happening, Georgie is like mouthing very loudly,
we will lose, devil's advocate, we would lose the ability to instantly know where Nuro is, though. Because that's
I'm not mad about
But
that.
I'd get to know where a dragon is at all. That's win-win, baby.
Luke, we're still buddies, right?
Yeah, of course. Like Banji would still travel with the companions and would still...
I'm referring to your special move that you have. Because, yeah.
Yeah, there's other things that that it can help with as well.
Okay.
But also, it gives Nuro some autonomy, like which in the last episode, Banji was like, "Yo, Nuro, you should have autonomy," and
Okay.
I think that's what's going to happen. I think maybe if the GM approves, that Banji may have a new ward.
God, that kind of breaks my heart a little bit, but it's cool.
Yeah.
It's the coolest shit.
Yeah.
So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to give you a one hold. And in this one hold of this this protector's burden that you have, you get to take your 10 plus without rolling on any move to defend or protect them. And you look at this creature with its eye trained on you and this little almost ball of fire in your hand. And you look at the bucket ladle that's just sitting on the ground that has this spirit water in it. And an idea comes to mind. And you plunge your hand into this spirit water and make the flame as bright as you can. And you pull it out and this almost blue flame is steaming away on your hand. This is while Meng Shou is currently having a bit of a stare down with Nuro. And this flame that you have, they sort of all turn around to see you, plunge your hand into the dragon, into where this wound is that won't stop bleeding. And as you do, you pull out this metal shrapnel that had been remaining in there that no one knew was there. And in doing so, in pulling out this piece of metal with this wildly burning hand, you've cauterized the wound. The bleeding immediately stops, bleeding that hasn't stopped for days. And the dragon lets out a roar, and this blue flame swirls out of its mouth. And then it looks at you, and goes back to sleep. Meng Shou begins to walk towards you, and you have never been more scared for your life. As
Hey, before we go to that, I'm legit like tearing up a little bit. Like that was beautiful.
Really?
Yeah, cool. Meng Shou is coming at me, but that was intense. I loved that.
Meng Shou approaches, and you see the hand, the rock hand launch off, and where it wrapped around the chest last time to restrain you, this time it's just gone straight for the throat. It is, and it's almost lifting up in the air, forced choke style. Yeah, and it's just like, what have you done?
Don't you see that he's helped her?
Beautiful moment, immediately followed by,
That was me being choked.
I know, it's fine. I just was not
Did it
expecting.
actually choke you?
Oh, no, all right.
I was not expecting Stitch to. Help the dragon.
Or Hanneman's family?
What do you mean you helped it?
It had shrapnel in its wound, and I got it out.
She sees the metal in your hand, and I think similar to when we last saw Boster from wielding a flame that was too strong, your hand is also singed and problematic as well. And she realizes that you have made some degree of sacrifice for this dragon, and she lets you down, and drops you. The rock will come back to her, and she does a bit of a roll of the wrist just to make sure all the pebbles are in the right place. Thank you.
Yeah. No danger.
Well, now I don't know what to think, what to say, what to do.
Yeah.
Here's this firebender that's just come and say, I thought you were all brutes when it came to these sort of things.
Well, no. I mean, it looked like it needed help, and I tried to help.
And she goes over to the dragon, starts sort of poking and prodding and having a bit of a look at things. And this is probably the first expression you've seen on her face. It's astonishment to see that this bleeding has stopped. And she turns back to you and says, would you like an apology or a thank you?
I think what I would like right now is for you to go and talk to your son.
Very well. Mark fatigue, because you have helped. And that is that last point that we needed. And she begins to walk up the stairs. Jesse, you've been around the statue for a while now, sort of half listening to what Tomo has to say. How are you feeling? What are you doing?
I think upon hearing the dragon roar, I think he's just figured it out. And he turns to Tomo. He's like, Tomo, it's okay. I'm okay. I think I've just realized why we're here. I've been incredibly selfish. This is nothing to do with me. It's about that dragon. And I need to go talk to my mother. Because all of this island, all of this it's all about that dragon. So
Lead the way.
yeah.
I'm right behind you.
Thank
You turn around and you walk almost head first, just not while you're in your own head, almost head first into your mother.
You always do that.
Did I not teach you how to step silently? I thought I taught you that trick.
Stop talking. You don't need to tell me what to do. You don't need to... Look. I came here because I thought you were in trouble. And the swamp told us we need to come here, and I made it all about myself and you and this. And he gestures between the two of them. It's a joke. We're taking the dragon. It can't stay here. The defenses all point to this spot. You've been guarding it for I don't know how long. If you keep going, they're just going to send more and more people. There's already 2 ships, less than half a day out, and he points across the water to the smoke. What did you think? You were just going to stay here until it was better and it was going to go away? No, it has to come with us. It can't be here anymore. You alone can't hold this island forever. And these monks, these people, when they realize there's nothing to take, they'll leave.
I agree.
That is the strategy. What?
I agree. We can't stay here. And it makes perfect sense that the dragon goes with you. I'm sorry.
For what?
I have always been a stern mother for obvious reasons. And she sort of looks at Tomo, who's still sort of just standing back a little bit, but gives you sort of a look that says, I'm not going to say everything. So read between the lines. I have always wanted you to be away from any part of this war, and you know exactly why. It's about who you are, what you can do, and I don't want you to be in any position where you might give that away. So yes, I've always been hard on you, because I hoped that if I was ever in a position like this, where I had to be somewhere incredibly dangerous, you wouldn't immediately follow after me trying to help. And now that you have brought these friends here, there's one that can see things, one firebender that was surprisingly more useful than I could possibly imagine. I realize that I need to trust you to do what you need to do. However, you know that that has its consequences, yes?
Yes. Mother, I know, but
She hugs you. She just pulls you into a big embrace.
Min's stunned. And he doesn't actually hug back. He doesn't believe her, and he doesn't think that one hug's going to undo the way she is and the way she's been for the past sort of 10 years. But he lets it happen. And you can see he's like holding himself back, Tomo. You can see like he's trying not to cry and he's trying not to be upset, and he is successfully doing that. Emulating her, in fact.
She sort of steps away, like feeling that you haven't gone in for that hug, and you've taken it very stoically. She goes, She smiles, a sight that Tomo certainly hasn't seen and you haven't seen for a long, long time. Because that's what we're looking for. Remember who you are, Minh Fang. And she is shifting your balance towards heritage.
Ooh.
So you can resist if you so desire, or you can accept it.
No, I'll accept it. She's right.
Remember.
You are my son.
Remember.
So I'm going away from +2 unity back to +1 unity.
Now,
No, I'm not done. You might think that what you've done is the right thing, but I was on Natsuo Island recently and we made a real difference, even if it's fleeting. And I saw everyone there, and I saw what this war means and what it's doing to people. And I know you never wanted me to be a part of it, but I don't think I'm going to have a choice very soon. And I think you're going to have to learn to accept that sooner or later. Father did. That's why he sent me out. Got me away. I can only hide it for so long. Your way didn't work.
and she sort of looks back over her shoulder in the direction of the dragon, and she says, "You're right.
And I know you don't necessarily agree. Wait, what?
You're right. I have made mistakes in the past. I truly have. But I am trusting you in this, Minh Fang." And she places her rock hand on your shoulder. I am trusting you.
All right. Well, just know that when it matters, I'll do what's right. And he gives a look, like a knowing look that they share. And sort of his eyes dart to Tomo. And then he takes a step to the side and brushes off his vest and heads down the hole. It's like, come on, Tomo, we've got a big lizard thing to get into a boat or something. I really didn't think this part through, and I'm horrified.
Tomo nods to you and quickly turns to Meng Shou. Watching the exchange, mother and son, Tomo is genuinely moved. And so when he bows to her, when he speaks to her, it's with absolute respect and sincerity. Your son is a remarkable man and a good friend. And you're right to be proud of him. And Tomo does a deep bow. Thank you. Thank you, my lady. I hope we get to meet again.
For your sake, I hope not. That's not a threat. It's just trouble seems to follow me.
We are surprisingly good at handling trouble, it would seem.
And she makes her way towards the front of the plateau, ready to reinforce what she needs to, knowing that there are 2 more ships coming.
All right, I'm going down that cave.
All right. Is there, before Minh Fang gets there, is there anything being shared between Nuro and...
Like, I guess I was just checking on you after you got choked out.
It was a light choking.
After you got lightly choked out. And I guess, like, I'm so curious about this dragon. And
Yanni's taking sketches and doing things. The other thing that you notice, Yanni's like taking a few vials of this spirit water, and she's sort of just putting them away in her pockets. Like,
I think like Nuro would really like to. Nuro would like to take some too.
yeah.
I think. Or I know if Yanni has it, that's fine. I'll just find it later. Don't worry.
Steal it from them.
Don't worry, Yanni took it. But yeah, I'm just like, did you heal that dragon just there with your fire?
Banji's sort of standing next to the dragon that's sleeping, and he's stroking it.
I don't know if a dragon can purr, but
Bees in it. Yeah, I think maybe I did. I didn't know that I could do that, or even that fire could do that.
Banji, that's amazing.
Thank you.
Could you show? I mean, I guess I'm not a firebender. You gotta show me again sometime.
Listen, I think there's something I need to speak with you about, and I think maybe it's a bit obvious now, but I'm so proud of the warrior that you've become, and I don't think that you need me to protect you anymore. And that's not to say that I won't travel with you and I won't do my best to make sure no harm comes to you, but...
Banji, we'll always protect each other, right?
Of course. It's just this dragon needs my protection more than you do. I'd be proud to stand shoulder to shoulder with you in service of this dragon and protect it as warriors.
Banji? And Nuro stands up straight, kind of salutes. I will protect this dragon with my life.
Banji gives like a super crisp salute. A bit of fire like flicker.
I think this is about the time that the other 2 return.
Saluting. Great. Cool. All right. So, been talking. I figured it out. I've been here for selfish reasons. This wasn't about me or my mother or our relationship. It's about this dragon, and it has to come with us. And I know that sounds crazy, and I know you're thinking, Min, you're insane.
The dragons come
How
with
are we
us.
gonna... Good. Wait, what? Yes. Hold on.
That's the 3rd time you've done that this episode.
I'm very confused. Sorry. All right. Wait a minute. Have you thought this through?
Ask Banji. It was his idea.
I mean, you were just like saying that you've thought it all through, and then the second they say that they're agreeing with you, you're like, oh, but have you thought about it?
You know what, Yanni? You just think about how we're going to get a dragon on your boat, all right?
Well, I've been having a bit of a look at it. I as much as it's not bleeding anymore, I think it's going to take a bit of time to recover. Like, how long have we got until those boats arrive?
Half a day, probably.
I mean, I don't know much about dragons, but...
Hey, dragon! Oi! You there! He starts going through the water and goes after the dragon. He like taps him on his nose.
There's a pat, like, there is a way to this little island.
No, he doesn't see it. It's like, he like taps the dragon on the snout. He's like, hey, buddy, how are you doing? How long will you need to feel better?
Mark 3 fatigue as it snorts, and as it does, this massive wash of blue flame comes over you.
Banji just bursts out laughing.
we have comically singed hair, like one of your the hair ends.
He falls backwards into the water.
Nero just washes this over you as well, just a wave.
And he bursts out of the way. He's like, right, you. I can't argue with a beast of this size. What am I doing? Oh, I'm so confused. And I think he just sort of like falls to his knees in the water a bit and just starts crying. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I don't know what I'm doing here. Who am I? I'm an idiot.
I
He's
think
just crying from exhaustion.
I think Yanni
stress.
breaks the tension and says, "You are Minh Fang, the earthbender, and even though it's a little bit shorter than it was a second ago, your hair is still amazing."
Oh yeah, I'm an earthbender, guys. Sorry, I've been keeping that from you.
I knew it. I knew it when those ships on the way to Glowgrove Cave. I knew you did something.
Yeah, that was real suspicious.
What did I do? No, I was drunk. I don't remember what I did.
You threw yourself off a boat, and then all of a sudden you came back, and one of the ships just didn't follow us anymore because it had a hole in it.
No, I vaguely remember being underwater, yes.
Minh Fang, I don't care what you can or can't do. I care more about why you do it. You're a good man.
Yeah, I try to be. I try.
So, yep, now everyone knows you're an earthbender, so there's no more secrets, right?
Yeah, no more secrets. None at all from old Minh Fang. No, I'm not giving anything from you.
The Book of War is Lucas Lee as Tomo, Georgie Hazel as Nuro, Ted Darling as Banji, myself Jesse Thomas as Minh Fang, and Ash Cooper as the Grand Master. Our theme song and outro, The Book of War Remains, and the Banji and the Dragon theme are by Matt Harrison, and additional sound effects and music are from zapsplat.com, except for the dragon purring sound. That's actually my roommate's cat, Finway, so he gets a credit. Hello, Finway. You can follow us on Facebook and Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all of them. Just look for the Book of War podcast. Here at the Book of War, we are affiliated with Arkenforge. Arkenforge is an immersive in-person tool that combines everything you need to play in your in-person tabletop role-playing games into one convenient software. You can build maps, play music, add sound effects, and manage campaigns, and use the native multi-screen support to provide a player map with Fog of War on a TV or on projector. And I can't state this enough, I've been building my my next arc for my current D&D game, and it has made my life so much easier. Just the sound effects alone, I'm big into sound effects and music, and it has made my life so easy because I can just take a whole suite of sound effects for an ambience track, and I can remove certain things. So if there isn't a forge in the town, I can remove the hammering in the background. Or if there's more horses here, if it's a horse-based town, I can add in more horses. It's literally my favorite part, and for that alone, I recommend this software. There is a free trial as well. If you want to do a 28-day free trial before buying it, they do free trials, so go ahead and have a look. You can use our affiliate code, The Book of War, all one word, for $5 off at the checkout. And you can use that with the fantasy or the sci-fi essential packs. Really do not sleep on this software, guys. It is a literal godsend from a forever DM. Also, if you loved last episode and want more of it, let us know. That's the only way we're going to be doing more, is if you tell us you want it. So yeah, hit us up. The next episode will be out on May 20th, and we will see you then.
And there's no incest in my swamp.
I didn't say that there was. A little bit.
I don't know what to edit that with. Like, I don't know what to do.
I don't even.
I think it's going to be in there. Good job.
No, let's take it out.
Okay. Oh, we can go at the end. How about that?
He's insisting that you take it
I
out.
don't think the
I insist you remove it from the podcast.
I don't think the children stick around for the end, so maybe they can just